Hi there, this is Judy with Paper Palm Tree, and this is the card I have for you today. This is a flamingo stamp, but I've done it to look like a sandhill crane. And we have sandhill cranes where I live, and I just love these beautiful, beautiful birds. But they are very similar in shape as flamingos are. They have that the long legs and all that. So let me share with you what products I've used. I used this fabulous flamingo stamp set that is the layering stamp set, and and I used this fern looking thing, and that's all, just these four and the fern. And the base of the card is in Old Olive, and this is cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score that. And I've used a piece of the glossy paper that is cut at 5 by 3 3/4, and I also have an insert paper that is 5 1/4 by 4. And I'll have to cut one. I haven't done that yet. So the inks on this that I've used, for the flamingo itself, I have Crumb Cake and Smoky Slate. So out of the 4 layers, you'll see how I do that. But these are the 2 colors I've used on that. And Sandhill cranes have a red head, so I have just used my aqua painter and put some of the red in there. And of course a little black on his beak. And for the leaves, I have 2 different colors. I have the, I pulled the wrong one out. I have Wild Wasabi and Old Olive. Let me grab my Old Olive. These are the colors I used for the ferns. So let's get started with stamping. Okay, so I have done a regular flamingo card, and I used this system on my other video. So if you've watched that, you've seen it before. But let me just share with you what I did. So I don't have the E-block that this stamp set required for the size of this one. So what I did was I just took a pad of paper, and I'm going to put my card on there, and I want the flamingo leg to be kind of straight up there, about right there. And kind of like what these stamp positioners do, and there's several on the market, I wanted to show how I did it with just my Stampin' Up! Case for my stamps. So I laid it in there, and then I pressed it because, you know, it's soft in the middle and it'll pick it up. And that glossy paper sticks a little bit to the ink, but I'm going to line that back up. And for the base of the length of this one, I'm using Crumb Cake. And so all I do with this is take the ink pad, and I go on top of the stamp like that. And I don't want this excess ink to get on my paper, so I'm going to wipe that off a little bit. And the trick to this, keep it level, go straight down, and make sure that you get all of the image rubbed on there. So I'm kind of guessing where it is, but it's right there in the middle. Like that. And there it is. Now, so for the rest of the images, I can use a regular block on those. So let me wipe this guy off. Okay, so I'm going to get out my Smoky Slate. Done with that one. And I'm going to get the solid body. It's kind of the outline of that, the flamingo. So I can do this regular stamping way now because all of these blocks, I have big enough blocks for these to fit on. So I'm going to ink that up, and I don't want such a saturated color on that, so I'm going to stamp it off just a little bit. Like that. And let me pull this close to line up. I know it's, I just cannot do it in the video. I've tried, and I can't seem to get it lined up right. So I have to, my head has to be right over it for me to line that up. Okay, for the legs, pull it again close so I can line it up. So I'm going to take my smoky slate, and this one has the details of the feathers. So I'm just going to take my aqua painter and pull some of that color down into where I kind of got it a little offset, a little off, and it'll be just fine. So color it in, a little bit on his leg there. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is take some Wink Stella. And you squeeze the barrel of the Wink Stella to activate that glitter. I can get it to go down. There we go. And I'm going to brush his feathers. Okay, so for the little bit of red on his head, oh, that's the Wink Stella. Wrong thing. I need my aqua painter. And I'm just going to put a little red on his head. Here we go. There we go. Okay. I think this, I did use crumb cake on this, and I don't know why it's so much lighter. But every card is different, and sometimes how heavy you do with the, I think I must have stamped off more on this one, but I still like it, and it's fine if it changes a little bit. So when I put my Wink Stella on, this is, the Wink Stella is, I think this is the pearl maybe, or white. It's a pearly white, and I know they have a silver one and maybe a clear one, but my white one, whenever I apply it, it really has a little sheen to it. You can't, you know, the glitter's not heavy in it, but it pulls more white into my inked things, so I like that. That's fine. So for the leaf or fern or whatever you're gonna use that for your greenery, is I started it with the wild wasabi, and there's some cards I've seen out there that kind of fill up the whole frame, and I like those too, but this one I kind of just wanted it not so heavy. Maybe one there. Oops. And maybe one more over here. Alright, so that's all of the wild wasabi. And, oh, you know what? That was old olive. I apologize. That was old olive. Now my wild wasabi. And just to kind of give it a little bit of multiple colors on that. I really like that. One of the colors that's retired is the Mossy Meadow. That I just love the depth of that one, but it's retired and that's okay. We'll make it do with these two colors. There, I like that. Okay, the last thing I need to do is I took one of my sponges. That's got blue in it. This is the green. And I want, oh, there's Stella on me. I'm such a mess. I just did a little hint of some ground just so that he's not floating in the air. So I just took just a little bit on my sponge and just did it lightly. Like that. Okay, so the old olive, this is cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm going to get out my scoreboard and I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. And I'm using the smaller, or I'm sorry, the larger of the ends on that stylus. The smaller one seems to, if I push too hard, can tear the paper. So I really like using that big one on these that I'm scoring for the center. So I'm going to take and fold that and use my bone folder and get those sides. And this is this is cut at 5 1/4 by 4, and that's what's going to be on our insert, and then this is going to go on the top. So let me get my adhesive. I'm going to put our Sandhill crane. And this is going to go on the front. There we go. I think he's pretty. Even though he's darker than this one, I used the same colors. I don't know. That's how it works sometimes, isn't it? Just seems darker. I think I stamped off, you know, more on this one, but I like this one too. So anyway, there we go. There's our Sandhill crane card, and I hope you enjoyed this video today. And if you did, if you'd hit the like button, and if you want to see more videos from me, subscribe, and you can always go to my web page where I have a blog that will tell you the dimensions of the cards. So until next time, bye.